How's it going, guys? It's late. I apologize. Missed the stream here. Was on the road. You know what? We're going to do a weekend update. I'm going to try to do under 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 minutes. We'll see how we do here. We'll just run through it pretty quick here. Okay, it is Sunday, October 11th. Let's try to plan for the week ahead. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the S&P 500. This is Patrick. You are trading with Prime. And for those of you who are new, welcome. We do go live most Sundays, except for today. We go live most Sundays, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I want to say almost every Sunday. Come join us. We go over charts. We go over planning. We go over names that you guys want to follow. We try to do that in an orderly fashion as much as possible. And so what we're going to do is we're going to look at the weekly time frame. Right now, this is the daily chart of the S&P 500. And if you're getting value out of this, be sure and hit the like button. It helps out the channel. Subscribe, hit the bell notification. That way when we go live, you won't miss a thing. Okay, let's dive straight into it. Now, this is more for members. I did a post a couple days ago. It was almost like a, not a clickbait. It was a post I did a few days ago on the Discord. And I was basically mentioning, you know, I'm a pretty bearish person overall. I've been bearish the market for a long time, probably the last year and a half at least. And of course, the market just keeps going higher, keeps going higher, keeps going higher. Now, this is the thing with trading is it's always changing, it's ever changing. And so even though I'm bearish and I have a million reasons why I think the market should be not where it's at, I can still take trades to the long side, and it doesn't matter what my personal opinion is. The market is going to do what it's going to do. So with that said, let's get into the weekly time frame. I told the Discord members that I'm going to lay out a bull case scenario and why I think the market is bullish. And it's pretty simple as far as not just that we're in higher lows across the board and above all the moving averages on a weekly time frame. The reason why I think we're going to go attempt to try it and tag all-time highs is this is a weekly chart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in on this price area right here. And that way you can really see the levels on your screen. So what we're looking at is this was, I called out a price earlier this week, or maybe it was last Sunday or in one of the previous videos, this 342.50 area, which I think it was around here somewhere. Let's see here. The high of this candle is 343. So in this price zone, on a weekly time frame, they closed above that level where I thought, you know what, if it gets above this level, I'm more bullish than I am bearish in this scenario that we were talking about before, which was a move down, a move higher, and then maybe at this line pull back like this, like a 1, 2, 3 or an ABC or a XYZ pattern. Well, that's not what happened. What happened is it more looks like this. Here's your move going higher. Here's the pullback, and what was this, 10% in the S&P 500. And then, of course, now we're going up here. There's something to consider here, and that's this candlestick right here. The higher we close up this candlestick, the more likely it is that we're going to want to go test the all-time highs. Now, what this also means is I'm going to go to a daily chart. And on the daily chart, we kind of see the same thing. We see, follow my cursor if you can, we see the March lows down here, and it just nothing but higher highs, higher lows. I know some of the dips or the lows are lower than previous lows. We can't look at it like that. We have to pull up the weekly chart to see, is it really in fact still higher highs and higher lows. So as far as the intermediate time frame, definitely bullish. The short-term time frame, definitely bullish. Long-term time frame, we're dang near at all-time highs ever. So it's hard to argue that there is a bearish case. Maybe for conceptual or for fundamental reasons, maybe there's a bearish case. And I will lay out one more possible scenario as far as a bearish case. You see this rising trend line. Is this a back test and we are going to sell off from here? That is absolutely possible. However, keep in mind that weekly time frame. And so when I zoom in on the chart a little bit further and really pull up these gaps, just so you guys can kind of see the gaps on your screen, you do have a lot of gaps in here, right? And it doesn't mean there's no law that says gaps have to be filled. Like, that's not an actual law. What we do know is that these gaps will provide support. So price did find itself back down in these areas. It will provide support. Each one of these gaps, even this one, I don't think was closed. So each gap that we see here will provide, or in theory should provide, support. But I think a big area to watch is this one right here, which is the most recent breakout, that 342.50 area. And I wish I could get maybe a like an exact price that would be wow. If they did this to this would be amazing. Maybe the chart will pull back here to this 340.60 area, or maybe it'll pull back to this 342.74 area. Either way you look at it, this is not bearish. This is bullish. Is the market overextended on a shorter time frame? Yes, it is definitely overextended in my opinion on a shorter time frame. The problem with trading off of whether it's overextended or oversold or overbought is that it doesn't mean that it's going to roll over just because it's overextended. You could see something like this. You could see a little bit of price action going sideways. And then this isn't just for the S&P 500. This is for all charts. I don't care if it's a biotech or gold or silver, or if it's the dollar. It really doesn't matter. In my opinion, a chart is a chart is a chart. And they all do the same thing. Maybe not to the same magnitude, but they all do the same thing. Back to the point here. So we're up in this area right now where the market's this super extended, or we've been going up for so many days now. We did have a pullback back here on 10.6, which was a nice little pullback. I did believe that the market would sell off the following day, and it actually didn't do that. It turned around and kept going higher because this was a resistance area. But now that we've broken through that, here's where things kind of get. This is where trading, you have to really button down the trading, because now that the market has done this and it's given me evidence that it wants to go test those all-time highs or possible test of the all-time highs, I have to really look at the chart and say, turn the news off. And speaking of news, by the way, stimulus package or no stimulus package, the market will continue rallying, even though the news said that the market was rallying because of stimulus. And then you'll get news like we got over the weekend, and the market didn't care that there is no stimulus still and that it's not going to work out. The Democrats, the Republicans, the president, they can't agree on a figure. One thing is I shouldn't say certainty. It's almost a certainty that the market is going to get a stimulus. And maybe this rally that we're seeing is pricing in the new president, if there is going to be a new president. There are several sectors and industries that are going to love the idea of a Biden presidency, but there's also another part of the market that isn't going to like that. They would prefer to have a Trump presidency. And so we're going to start to see a lot of volatility because of those scenarios playing out in the different sectors, whether it's cannabis or whether it's energy, those kinds, or medical or biotech. You're going to see a lot of volatility in those different areas. Okay, back to the point of the video, and we're probably over our 8 minutes already. So here's the thing. This is where trading becomes a little bit fun. Right? Now that we see this bullish action, don't be surprised to see the market come back to this level down here, right? Because this is the name of the game now. If I'm eyeing this all-time highs, which maybe traders are or aren't, but because of the weekly close and where we close on the weekly chart, I am eyeing that price. Where does it become? Where do I know that I would be wrong in this scenario or in this trade? Where I would be wrong is if you get a closing price, a weekly closing price. So let's say next Friday, or this coming up Friday, we get a closing print down here somewhere around 327. Actually, let me give you an actual price on the low of this candle. The low of the candle is 334.38. 334. In fact, let's do this. 334.38. Let's put a price level in. 334.38. And again, I apologize, guys, for missing today. I had some traffic issues, and I was way far out of town, and I was trying to head home here. But hey, I put in a price level. So this is what we're eyeing right now. The name of the game is this: if we are bullish the market, are we going to buy up here at these highs? Let's say we gap higher tomorrow. Are we going to want to buy the market? That's really where it comes into play, especially when we're up against this rising trend line. Do we want to be buyers in the market at this level? Because if you did buy the market up here at this level, at what price would you put your stop loss? Are you going to put your stop loss right here and then to watch the market? Are we going to put a stop loss right here in the middle and then just watch the market take our stop out and then rally? Where are we going to put our stop loss at? In my opinion, our stop loss would come down underneath this candle. Maybe it's around 333.75. Maybe that would be a good stop loss. And again, it doesn't matter if you're trading Apple or Amazon or anything that tracks with the broad market, especially. This is what I want to focus on, and we can take trades and things. Oh, and by the way, banks are reporting starting tomorrow, I believe. So let's watch the banking sector. this is where the stop loss would go. It would go underneath of 334.38. That's the price level that you know that you'd be wrong on the trade on a weekly time frame. Now, with that said, let's go back over to the daily chart because now we have our price level in, right? Now let's go see if this price level, if we can justify why this would be an area of support. And you can see it was support back here where price went above. You can see, follow my cursor here. Price went above, and this is prior all-time highs in February. Price went above that price, and then it got rejected and fell back through it. And it took this entire 6 months, or however many months this is, 8 months, to rally all the way back up here. Found a little bit of resistance here, broke through it, traded sideways, and then just kept, and then bounced off that area, kept going higher. As it fell back down, boom, it finds support, trades sideways, falls through support, rallies back above it, and that's almost like a neckline, not the same neckline that people call this head and shoulders, but it's like the actual neckline of the head. But this, now we can see why this would be a good area of support. So I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit and just to show you why this would be a good area of support. There you go. Really, now you can see it on your cell phones, even though you guys should be driving, not watch videos in the car. Okay, so now we can see why this would be a good area of support. And in fact, it could be, maybe it would come back down here, fill the gap. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll come back down all the way back to this level down here. We don't know that for sure or not. One thing I can tell you is this: if the daily chart closes one day underneath 334.38, it's highly probable that the chart is going to want to go down and fill in this gap down here, which, so let's say you were stopped out of the trade right around this price level, you were stopped out of the trade, you could then go long, set yourself up to possibly go long down here, or again at the low of this candle. But here's where it gets tricky. Are we going to be buyers up here? I'm not going to be a buyer up here. If the chart traded sideways for 4 or 5 days, would I then consider buying? Yes, if it put in a bull flag and it wasn't a Friday, like I'm not going to go long on a Friday, but possibly the following Monday, and we'll have to see the way that plays out. However, price, the name of the game is this: at what price level are you going to buy in? Having the benefit of knowing what the weekly chart looks like, it would be perfectly normal and rational at this point for a pullback. You want to be a buyer as close to this price level as possible. And the reason why is when you take your stop loss, if you're wrong in the trade, you want that amount to be really low. You don't want it to be really high. You don't want the stop loss to be, you don't want to lose a lot on the trade. So the name of the game is to figure out at what price are you going to step in and buy it. Now, this could be partial positions. You could start going long at each gap. That would possibly work. Again, if you're trading options, that could be very painful if you're waiting for this down here to be a stop loss. So all that said, that is trader's choice. Me personally, this is the way I personally do it. I'm not going to be a buyer up in this area. I'm not going to do it unless price traded sideways and consolidated first. If price pulls back to this level, I will definitely step in to buy. I would consider buying at this area right down here to right down here. This is my purchasing price area. If price doesn't make it to there, and let's just say it gaps higher tomorrow and just takes off to the upside, oh well, I'm waiting for the next trade, right? We don't have to take everyone. Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. I just wanted to run through. I know we just went over the S&P 500. I wish we had time to go over all the charts. We don't. I'll see you guys in Discord. By the way, if you're new on this channel, go to rtbtrading.com, sign up for, you get a 7-day trial to join the Discord where you can get trade alerts and trade ideas and reasons why we take trades and any type of guidance and help and community that we offer there. So that will be it. I will see you guys this week. Have a good luck trading this week.